So when we talk about embracing our darkness, I'm not talking about being a bad person. When I talk about embracing darkness, I talk about not being the victim anymore. I talk about taking control of your life and stop defining your results from your past, from your childhood, from the neglection of your parents, from the things that you didn't get, from the privilege that you didn't get. When I talk about embracing darkness, darkness could be either trauma, it could be either moments in your life where you felt very, very unsupported. When we talk about darkness, this could even show up in your body as not feeling able to. For example, when you were little, you saw people, families that were united, and your own family was not united. When you saw the struggle, the financial struggle of your mom, and you had this like resentment towards not being able to. You had this like pain of the things that you couldn't get and the things that will never come back, the things that you missed out on, or even feeling betrayed or feeling bullied when you were little. When people literally gives us bad energy and they give us neglection, even neglection could be a really bad thing. Like when you think about neglection, it's like people just not doing what they're supposed to be doing in your life and ignoring you in a way. So when you think about this, embracing your darkness is all of those spots within you that are empty, that you wish they were different. When you wish you could speak up, when you wish you could have defend yourself when you were little, but you couldn't because your self-esteem was low, or you couldn't because things were not provided to you. You didn't have the guidance, you didn't have the tools in that moment, and you just couldn't speak up. And this happened to me a number of times when I was little. When I was little, like literally, I had so much bullied in school. Believe it or not, people used to bully me because I was too skinny, too skinny. People used to bully me because I had really long hair, like long hair up to my hip. And people just bully me out of nothing, out of thin air. And I was kind of like the lonely kid. If I'm being honest, if I'm being completely honest, I had maybe one or two friends, but they were not deep friends. They were just people that I used to talk to, and they had the same issues as me. They were bullied the same way. And honestly, I couldn't speak up back then. When I was like in second grade, first grade, I was going through a lot of trauma with my parents. Basically, they were fighting too much, they were not getting along. I used to hear like fights every single day when I was 4 years old. And when I entered school, I was a very insecure kid, like very insecure. So I started noticing that a lot of things that happened within my childhood affected me in a really negative way. And that is when my darkness started happening, because I'm like, now that I look back, how I wish I could have, speak up. I wish I could have say something, defend myself. And I didn't. So I didn't. When I was a child, when I was around 5, 6 years old, when I entered elementary, I just couldn't defend myself for nothing because I was too scared. You know, in my household, it was a very toxic household, basically. And if you speak up, you'll get kicked literally in your face. So it was a very toxic household. I couldn't speak up. I was fearful. It was a very toxic thing. And honestly, now that I look back, that started creating my personality now. And that's why I have a really strong character now. I'm very fair in life, in the sense of I look into fairness, and it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. It means that I'm gonna mirror you, and I'm gonna give you the same energy that you're gonna give me, that you give me. If you give me bad energy, that's the same that I'm gonna give you back, and I'm actually gonna remove you from my life, and I'm actually gonna separate you from my life. And when I say embrace your darkness, is because some of us have been burned in life so many times that for us there's no option but to defend ourselves, but to reject, but to mirror you back, because we have been through so much that there's no other option, right? So back then I couldn't defend myself, so now I just decided that I was gonna embrace my darkness, that I was gonna, you know, treat people how they treat me, and actually remove myself or remove them out of my life when things don't go the way they're supposed to. I don't excuse people anymore. I don't paint people to the perfect image that I want. I actually see them as they are the first time that I met them. When I met them, if they are the way they are, I just take them as they are. And if I don't like it, I just remove them from my life immediately. I do not accept people if they give me crap, literally. I used to be like a person that used to be the one initiating everything, giving people everything first, and then I was waiting for the same back, right? I was waiting for the same response, the same gestures, the same treatment, and I was just always waiting. And I kept waiting and waiting and waiting, and never happened. And I decided enough is enough. I'm not gonna give anyone nothing anymore. I'm simply gonna focus on me, and I am my priority from now on. And since then, I feel like my inner circle changed with me a little bit, because I decided to put me as a priority, and it has definitely changed. But about outer circles, I really don't get worried about people anymore. Like, honestly, I'm in a such a relaxed state at the moment that I don't let nothing affect me the way it used to affect me back then. So when I talk about, embracing darkness and all that, I'm talking about these. I'm talking about mirroring people. You give me crap, you're out of my life. And honestly, you don't have to even go down to their level. You just simply don't take it. You simply don't swallow it. You know, when somebody doesn't text you and then all of a sudden they appear after a week, you simply block them, remove them from your life. When somebody, you know, let's say sees your stories in Instagram, but they don't say hi to you, but they're a personal, you know, they have a personal relationship with you and they just ignore you. Well, that's how they are. That's how they are. I stopped painting pictures and I stopped, you know, idealizing people for what they're not who I think they are. They're simply who they are, and that's the end. I don't have to paint the perfect picture. I don't have to, you know, imagine a fantasy in my head. They are who they are, and that's it. So when people show me who they are, I just accept them and I don't take them. I simply remove them. If I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm not gonna continue a friendship. I'm not gonna open my arms to you. I'm not gonna welcome you to my life, because that's not the energy for me. That's not the energy that I want in my life, and that's it. To me, reciprocity is one of the biggest things that exist, honestly. Some people think that you're supposed to give them, and they're never gonna have to give you anything back. And that's the biggest lie ever. Even if you get married, you marry to love someone and to be loved. If they don't love you the same way and to the same level, honestly, that's a lose for you. It is what it is. It is a lose for you, because at the end, you're giving at 100% and they're giving at 20%. So what's the point? For that, just pour that into yourself. For that, you just focus on you, on increasing every year, on increasing everything in your life, instead of pouring that energy to them. And that is why I apply this energy, like this embracing my darkness. This is how I apply it. I measure you, I analyze you, I see if you're worth it. If you are worth it, I'm gonna give you the best of me. I'm gonna give you 100% of me. I'm gonna give you 120% of me. Now, if you don't measure up, I'm gonna remove you instantly in 2 seconds from my life. No debates, no waiting, no nothing. I'm gonna simply remove you in 2 seconds, because the worst that you can do in life is expect different results from people. When people show you once, and sometimes I even want to give them a second chance, but honestly, that's pointless. Honestly, that in my experience, giving people second chances is kind of pointless sometimes. If you want to risk it, you can. That's your option. In my experience, that has been detrimental. No benefit. But you can try it. You can see if you want to give a second chance and see if the person even changes, even values it. If it doesn't, please do not spend more time, because time is the most valuable asset that you have at the end of the day. So you are important. The fact that you're listening to this video means that you are learning, that you care about your development, that you care about your life, that you want to grow in life. So you are doing the work. So you mixing yourself with people that are not doing the work, that are not growing, that are stuck in the same place in life, is pointless. You're just wasting time. For that, it's better to be alone than with people that are literally dragging you down. So to me, I enjoy myself. I'm very okay being alone. Okay, very okay. If you're not adding to me, if you're not giving anything to me, like, there's no point. As a friend, if you're not making my life better in the sense of you're giving me value as a friend, not money-wise, but value-wise, what are you adding to my life to make it better? For example, can you take me to a seminar that I haven't heard of and we can learn things in that seminar? Or you want to take me to a Pilates class that I never heard of? And things like that. Are you adding value to my life? That's the question that you should answer. Like, am I adding value to your life as well? Because if I see you adding value to me, I'm going to add value to your life as well. I'm going to literally brainstorm my head into see how can I help you in your life? How can I improve your life? But that's the thing, is reciprocity. I help you, you help me. If I'm only helping you and I don't see no movement from you, I have to remove you immediately. If there's no reciprocity, there's no point of having friends. So you have to see the value in every friendship, in every relationship, okay? And even in your inner circle, like mom, dad, brother, sister, if they're not adding value to you, I mean, it's not like you can remove them from your life, because unfortunately they're part of your life, but you can definitely give distance to their relationship. And that doesn't mean that you have to be buddy with them as well. So it's all about not being a bad person, but measuring who is worth in my life. Like, you're not a bad person because you're embracing your darkness. You are a very strategic and smart person by doing it, because not everyone deserves the good in you. Not everyone does. If I wanted to do charity, I would do charity, and I wouldn't expect nothing from the charity, but that's my private thing. That's something I want to do, you know. But if I'm gonna have a friendship, it's totally different. It's totally different. Friendships are things that you actually spend time, money, energy. If I'm not gonna get nothing out of it, I'm not signing up for it. I rather literally volunteer and spend hours, days, and knowing that I'm not gonna get nothing in return to people that actually need it. That's how I see it. I literally rather spend a week in the shelter helping the homeless, knowing that I'm not gonna get nothing in return, but at least I feel good about it, than having a friend draining resources from me, like resources, ideas from me, and not getting nothing in return. So yeah, to me, I see it that way. And doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It means that you want the same back that you give. That's it. Same in the relationships. When you have a relationship, you want to love and be loved. If you are the one that always initiates, cut this thing off. Cut it off. If you're the one that always have ideas, cut it off. If you're the one that always texts, cut it off. Especially when you're a woman. You have to let men be men. Okay? You can't take the role of a man. To me, I love when men are men and they act like men. I don't want to be acting like a man, chasing a man, texting a man, having ideas. Let's do this, let's do that, let's do this. No. If you don't have too much of a brain to think about ideas or where to go, what to do, then you're not for me, definitely. Because if I always have to overuse my brain to do things in the relationship, you're not for me. And that's just how I see it. So things like that. If I have to feel like I'm with another woman, there's no point. I'd rather literally have another woman next to me. And I'm not a lesbian or nothing like that. I'm heterosexual. But think about it. If you have to feel like another woman is next to you instead of a man, what's the point of having a man? You know? So, yeah. I'd rather be alone in that case. But this is how I embrace my darkness. I literally put people in place. I give them what they deserve. I give them the same that they give me. And honestly, it's working way better from when I used to give myself all the way, and I used to be always crying, always affected, always the victim. And I was a victim because I was letting it to be a victim. I was letting these people take over me. I was letting them have all the benefits. Like, honestly, waste of my time. And that's why I changed. I completely changed, and I'm so good with it. I'm happy with it, and I feel good, no regrets, honestly. Because I'm not damaging anyone. I'm just responding to the same way that you're giving me. Like, if you're giving me BS, I'm not even gonna respond to you. Honestly, I'm just gonna never talk to you again in my whole life. And I'm okay with that. So some people don't even deserve a response. Some people just deserve to be removed forever. And that's it. So yeah, you're not a mean person. You're actually a good person. But people just want to text you all the time. They just want to test your limits. They just want to test you all the time. They just want to test how far they can go with you. Test how much shit you can take, And it's not fair. And you're not going to let it happen. You're not going to let it slide. And that's it. So yeah, I hope you guys like this video. And I will make more videos about this. And have a nice week.